So a lot of people in my Discord server and YouTube channel have been asking me to make a tutorial on a block system like the strongest battlegrounds. And today I'm going to show you how to make one. I know there are a lot of tutorials on how to make a block system on YouTube, but they're really complicated and they don't really explain the steps properly, which causes confusion and errors. But in this video, I'm going to break each step down in the simplest way possible. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully functional combat block system that you can customize and create in your game. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go to server storage, add a folder, call it remotes. Inside that folder, add another folder and call it main remotes. Now, inside the main remotes folder, create a remote event and call it block system. Now close this folder up, create another folder and call it animations. So this is where we're going to store our animations. You can create another folder as well and name it main animations. So I'll just... Inside the main anims folder, create an animation object. And just call it block, or just call it whatever you want. Open up starter player and insert a local script into starter player scripts. And call this block system brackets client. If you're wondering what client means, well, there are two things. One called server and one called client. Client is basically the script that holds all the behind the scenes work, like detecting inputs, adding attributes, and so on. And server is like all the stuff that shows on screen, like VFX, sound effects, damage, velocity, so on. Now we're going to get our services. So do local UIS is equal to game get service user input service, and local RS is equal to game get service replicated storage. Okay, so basically if you're wondering what user input service is, it's usually there to detect clicks. Like example, if I press N, I want something to happen. So to actually code that in, I need user input service. And we need replicated storage because our remote event and animation is inside there. Now go 2 lines under and do local. So do local player is equal to game.players.local player. Basically, we're getting the players that join the game. And do local char is equal to player.character or player.character added weight. If you're wondering what's the difference between player and character, the character is like your avatar. So inside your avatar we have something called the humanoid and the humanoid root part. The humanoid root part is obviously the roots of the player, and the humanoid is the controller of the player. With the humanoid you can do damage, and the humanoid root part you can add velocity or knockback. So yeah, let's just get the humanoid right now. Do local humanoid is equal to character.humanoid. Now do local block remote is equal to replicated storage dot remotes dot main remotes dot block remote dot block system, or whatever the name of your remote is. So basically what we're saying here is in replicated storage we have a folder called remotes. Inside that folder we have a folder called main remotes, and we're getting our block system and we're storing it in a variable called block remote. Now do local block is equal to replicated storage or RS dot animations dot main animations or dot main anims dot block. So we're doing the same thing as we did above. We are checking our animations folder. Inside that folder, we're getting our main animations folder, and then finally we're getting our block animation. And underneath this line, let's do local block anim track, or let's just do block AT for short. Do humanoid dot animator. Inside the humanoid, there's something called an animator. We're getting that, and we're using a function called load animation. Just put your block anim inside these brackets. Now we're going to create something called a Boolean variable. So Boolean basically means true or false. So do local is blocking is equal to false. So by default it's going to be false. But when we actually do start blocking, this is going to be true. So we're going to create a function that starts blocking. So everything that makes the block start is going to be inside this function. So do is, now we're going to turn the is blocking variable to true to show that we are blocking. Block remote dot block remote fire server, and we're going to put true passing. So basically what we're saying here is we're taking our remote event and we're firing it to the server. Like we're sending the server a message that we have done something. Here's a bit of more information about it, or do something with what we have done. So true is just an extra information we can pass on, so we don't have to like code everything else again. Block animation track, and now we're just playing our animation. So if we go into game, the animation will play. Well, not now, since we need to call the function somewhere in the code. Humanoid dot walk speed is equal to true. Is equal to 3. Basically, we're altering the player's walk speed, like how fast the player can walk. How fast the player can walk. So 16 is like the average walk speed that we can currently walk at. 3 means you'll go really slow, and 0 means you won't move at all. Now we're just gonna do print blocking started. So basically this will print to our output. We're just making a print to show that this is working, all of this has happened. If it doesn't print, then something went wrong in your code. Now we're going to create another function to handle when we stop blocking. Otherwise it would just be in the blocking state forever. So do local function stop block. Now just like do the opposite of what you did here. So we're going to turn is blocking to false. Block remote fire server, and we're telling it that we stopped blocking. If block AT, then block AT stop. So what we're saying here is if our block animation is currently animating and we're turning off the block, we want to stop animating. So we're doing this. And then change the humanoid's walk speed back to the original, which is 16. And print block system blocking stopped. So we know that this is being executed. Now we're actually going to do the part where if we press a key, we'll start blocking. So to do that, do UIS, the input began. Input began means when we first press the key. Connect function. So when we first press the key, we'll connect it to a function with input and is typing passing. Now do if is typing, then return end. So basically what this means is if you're typing in chat, then just don't continue. Stop the script. Now do if input dot keycode is equal to enum dot keycode dot whatever key you want. I'll just do B. Then so basically what we're saying is if we press a key, and if that key is B or whatever key you want to start blocking, then continue the line, and we're just going to call our start block function. So let's test it out. Oh yeah, I totally forgot this part. So before we test it out, we have to create our block animation. I have a rig here. You probably don't have this. So go to avatar, rig builder, create a rig of any type, and then just move it down in the scene, and then open the animation editor and click on your rig, and it should ask you to create an animation. Just name it whatever you want. I'll just call it block vid, and create. And now just animate. So okay, so now when you're done with the animation, turn looping on and click on the 3 dots, publish to Roblox. Title it whatever you want, save, copy the animation ID, and close. Now close the animation editor, go to animations, the animation object, click on it, make sure you have Explorer and Properties enabled. So to do that, go to View and enable Explorer and Properties, and just paste in your animation. And now test it out. Okay, now do B. Blocking has started. Okay, now we didn't do like any way to end the blocking. So for now it just looks like we're a zombie. So stop. And now let's do the stop blocking part. So just copy this code, paste it underneath, and instead of input began, do input ended. So the moment we let go of our key, and just change this to start block to stop block. Do B, we have started blocking, we let go, we stop blocking. And our walk speed is back to normal as well. Okay, so now we're done with the client side, or our local script. Now it's time to get into our server script. So in server script service, create another script and call it block system. Delete print hello world. Let's just save some time. So we'll just take replicated storage, paste it here, go 2 lines under and do local player blocking state is equal to curly braces, also known as special brackets. So what we're doing here is we're creating something called a table. A table is like for storing, inserting, and modifying data. So right now our table is empty, but later on we'll put stuff inside there and like change things up a little. Tables can be really helpful for like organizing information and stuff. Okay, so now we're going to create a function to check if the players are blocking or not. So like we can't block multiple times. So do local function player block check and do player passing. I'll do return player blocking state square brackets player or false. Oh, why are we getting an error? Better. So what this line means is, so basically we're just giving our game player blocking state and player inside. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So now we're basically going to code another function. This function is to handle when the player's state has changed. States are basically like what the player is doing. So if you're walking, then that's a state. If you're falling, that's a state. So now do local function player block state changed. Very long function name. And do player comma is blocking as parameters. Now do player blocking state and put player inside is equal to is blocking. Here we're just saying the player's blocking state is they're blocking right now, so that's the state. So if you're wondering where we got this is blocking from, in our block system client, we created a Boolean variable called is blocking. And later on, we send the true part of the is blocking variable, or the false part of the is blocking variable, to our combat system server. So we're basically receiving this is blocking variable, and we're saying whatever the state is of the player, make it to this variable. Now do game.players.player added connect function and do player passing. So the moment a player joins the game, we're going to connect it to a function with player passing. Now do player.character added connect function, and we're going to put char. Now basically we're going to create a system to handle if we get damaged or not if we're currently blocking. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Now do local humanoid. We're creating a variable for the humanoid. So do character or char.humanoid. Local prev health is equal to humanoid.health. So we're creating a variable for our player's previous health, like health before we get damaged. Now do humanoid.health changed connect function and put current health passing. Now do if player block check, then so basically if player block check is running and if you're blocking, then make a variable called taken damage. So to do this, to do previous health minus current health. So this is how we're going to check how much damage we have taken. So previous health minus current health. Now do if taken DMG or taken damage is more than 0, then continue the code. Do humanoid.health is equal to humanoid.health plus taken damage. So this is how we're going to handle deflecting the damage. So we're not going to take any damage if we're currently blocking. Now we're going to print. So we're going to print blocked damage. So if we've actually blocked the damage, then it will print out in the output. So now here do previous health is equal to current health. So we're saying now our previous health will be the health we're at now. Now this part is to make sure that we don't start blocking like in mid-air or while we're jumping or while we're walking. So to do that, do humanoid.state change. So if the humanoid state has changed to like something like, if the humanoid state has changed, then connect it to a function. And for passing, we'll do old state comma, new state. So now do if player block check, and we'll put player inside. So we're checking if we're blocking or not. Is not equal to enum dot humanoid state type dot new dot none. Oh, and I forgot to do and new state is not equal to humanoid state type dot none. So basically what this means is if we're checking if we're blocking, if we are, and humanoid and our current state is doing nothing, like we're just standing, we're not doing anything, then continue the line. Humanoid colon change state enum the humanoid state type dot none. So if we start blocking and we're doing something, we're going to make it do nothing. So we're making sure our condition is met to continue the code. And now we're just going to print action prevented to show that we've prevented from doing something, from doing an action. So now play. Okay, we're blocking, we stopped blocking. And how are we going to check the damage? So we need something that can damage us so we can block. So let's just get something from the toolbox and click on models. It should be models by default. And do enemy NPC. So and just like get your enemy NPC and insert it. Enemy NPC includes 2 scripts. Don't care. Holy shoot, it's already on me. B. Okay, it's still doing damage. And we died. Oh, so now I found out what's wrong. Okay. So do remote. I forgot to do this part. I forgot to do the actual receiving remote part. So remote the on server event connect function. And here, okay, let's see if it works now. Okay. Yes, if you block, it doesn't do any damage. And it prints damage blocked. Awesome. Okay. So, bro, let me go. Let me go. Dang. Okay, so now we've officially created our own successful blocking system. I hope this video helped you out. If you have any issues, or confusions or questions, comment down below or join my Discord server.